Hey, this is Chip Carlisle from the Knives Templars. Wondering how many of you guys have gone out there and listened to Season 2, Episode 20 of our podcast. And this current title is, Who Needs a Deer Tushy Knife? I don't know, but I think that Otis Pinto will fill us in. Anyway, hey, how about a Knives Templars tip of the week? How many of you guys are using rigid refractory board in your forges? Now, if you've got a squared off forge, it's highly likely, but this may also apply to round forges that are using the wool. But anyway, what I wanted to get at is how you're heating your forges up, because that may be limiting the life of your refractory board. So when I heat up a board, heat up my forge, which heats the boards, what I do is I go in and I ignite my burner and I let it burn at a low heat for about 3 or 4 minutes. After it builds up that heat, I turn it off. And sometimes you can see steam rising up out of that. Well, what is that steam? That's just humidity and moisture that's gotten into that board while it's been sitting there cool, thermal cycling in the normal environment of your shop. So typically I'll go through 2 cycles of that, and then I'll turn it on a third time. I'm only talking about a space of 4 or 5 minutes. But when I go through it the next time, or when I'm going to start it up, I bring it up to temp, slowly increasing the amount of gas flow to raise that temperature. If you go too fast and too hot, you shock that material, causing it to expand way too quickly. And certainly with the steam in there, when that moisture starts to gas out, you're going to get more violent reactions in there that you certainly can't see or feel, but that's what's taking place, and that's what causes that material to separate. So if you go through that, and possibly what I do, and I don't know if this is required, but when I turn a forge off, I just don't shut it off and let it cool. I actually take it down to about half heat, and then I'll take it down about half of that. And over the course of a minute and a half or so, I will set and take it down where it's no longer glowing red inside. Once I do that, I move my forge, because mine's on wheels. I'll move it into a storage room where I keep it. And then just let it naturally cool down where it's not around any cold air or breezes or anything that may cause some type of thermal shock to it. So that's how I do that. Now, we all know that regardless of what type of forge liner you've got, they're all going to crack eventually. And certain things we do, if we use flux, they're going to break down further. But just from thermal cycling, you're going to see some cracks and pieces come apart over time. Well, to extend that time out, you can go with the method that I just mentioned to you, and you'll get a much longer use out of your forge. But what I'm getting at is that if you go through and you use your Satanite, or go through and use your materials to fix those cracks as they go along, you're going to seal them out and cause that forge, or enable that forge to last much longer. So that's my Templar's tip of the week, and I hope that if you own a forge that you'll take that information with you. While I'm at it, hey, I would love to see you guys visit the Knives Templars podcast Facebook group. We've got a new group out there where listeners can interact with us. You can sign up to be on the show. We love to have everybody as part of our Pops Maker Mark series. And you can, again, ask questions, post your knife pictures, get feedback. We want to build a great community where knife makers can come around and learn and share in a fun environment. If you're not on the Facebook group, you can always visit us at knivestemplars.com, and you can find us on podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, and now Amazon at the Knives Templars. So I hope you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Knives Templars. Have a good day.